And that was a sight worth getting out of the tent for. Last couple of days has me pretty massively behind on edits, so I'm torn between watching the sunrise and getting things done. I'm never going to get any work done. Keeps getting prettier out here. And welcome to morning at camp. Pants are overrated. I'm enjoying the warmer weather in the mornings while I have it. As much as I hate stopping at that time of the evening, which along with the very early morning is the best possible time to hike out here in the desert, that was one of the best camps I've had this entire trip. It reminded me of that camp right at the end of the Grand Enchantment Trail, hanging out above the lights of Albuquerque. I also caught up on the 4 days of outstanding edits I had, so I am feeling very much better. The only bummer was I didn't have an unlimited amount of coffee water because this is a dry section. I carried a gallon up to Liberty Cap, which is partially why my knees were creaking. And now I've got a little under 1.5 liters left to get me the remaining way to Fruita. I'm also feeling like I have a little better handle on things planning wise. Basically, once I accepted that it made sense to stay in Fruita tonight, the next couple of days make a lot more sense. Because otherwise, it is a 22-mile dry carry as near as I can tell once I leave the town to get me to the first water cache. So, hotel tonight, fully charged, get everything uploaded, leave early tomorrow, and plan to make it to the water cache, if not a little bit further. The only real tricky bit is going to be the food carry, because my hunger has been all over the place with the hot and the cold and the weather and everything. I'm just gonna do my best to try and not overdo it food-wise, because as you can imagine, 6 days of food plus a gallon of water, tomorrow is going to hurt, even more so than yesterday. At least it'll probably be flatter. Liberty Cap was a really, really cool trail. And once again, I'm glad I didn't wimp out and shortcut via the low country or anything. But scrambling up some of those rocks with that much weight on my back, huffing and puffing. This area is labeled as Monument Mesa on my map. There is a upper trailhead back here in a road. I could hear traffic off and on. And then I basically cut back to the northwest and eventually drop back down to the level I was before coming up here. Oh, wow. So eventually I will actually be headed that way once I finish this curve and cross into Utah. But for now I am heading northwest. Spectacular view and pretty much the worst possible lighting to capture it in.
my gosh. Well, good luck.
Thanks. Okay, I got all excited, but I think that's just a drainage tunnel. I am taking way too many clips because of all these awesome views. I also really wish I had like golden hour lighting here. Holy crap. I thought there would be coyotes. I ended up getting stuck in the middle of their group for a while, so I was chatting with them. The adults were really impressed by what I was doing. The fourth grader ahead of me here was quite impressed. I had more than 13 followers online, but seemed kind of bummed I wasn't on TikTok. So that was a fourth grade field trip from Carbondale. And once again, everybody's kids get to do way cooler stuff than I did when I was growing up. So now I basically can't stop again, or else I'll get caught up in the middle. I am pretty thirsty. Somebody gave me some water up above, but still, I've always thought it is a shame that water is not as delicious when I'm at home as it is when I'm out here or exercising. When I used to work out with the trainer, I would chug a bunch of water with great satisfaction. But like right now, I would drink a gallon or two happily. Versus if I'm at home, I'm like, not that thirsty. One of the many enduring memories from this trip has been in the summer section. Jen coming back with all those sparkling bottles filled with water from some farmhouse. Except for the one or two occasions where it tasted bad and made us low level sick. So I think I'm 6 or so-ish miles from town. After a couple of more miles, I will be at the trailhead back on the road. I've already been eyeing Mexican food restaurants because despite what Jen thinks, you cannot get enough comfort Mexican food. And they will have salty chips and delicious soda and iced tea for me. My whole goal today is going to be getting food from the city market down there and then going over and over the food carry a couple of times to try and make sure I don't have anything extra. Because it was a heavy carry just coming in here with the extra dinners. 6 days of food, that is going to be rough for a day or two. Granted, when I look at the elevation profile for the remainder of Colorado, it's basically flat. This section, I've done the big gain last night and this morning. And hell or high water tomorrow, I am going to need to make that water cache 22 miles from town. So, yeah, I'm going to be working. That's kind of Boston Dynamics-ish. I am pretty thirsty. A few more miles into town. I am sadly completely out of water. There's the Mexican food restaurant right by where the hotels are. I'm pretty much completely focused on just making it that far. Okay, I just had a very large soda and a Gatorade, and I'm still thirsty, but slightly more coherent. Okay, feeling a little more normal now after drinking like a gallon of various liquids. I didn't even pay for the drinks I had at the gas station. Some nice guy took a look at me and then covered it. I had hoped to do this in daylight, but oh well. Once again, gotta love the desert at sunset. Now if I could only hike just in the morning and just in the evening and not have to survive the midday heat. Okay, mission accomplished, hopefully. That felt way too bloody expensive, but I am trying to buy for 6 days. And I think Jen's rule of thumb is like 25 bucks a day or something like that. So now back to the hotel to eat my ice cream and veggies, because that's how I roll when I'm around town. And then to do a lot of painful soul searching and repackaging of food. My biggest struggle is I usually buy just a bit too much and then I have to leave stuff. It's one thing when you're around any of the Triple Crown trails, other things where you've got hiker boxes and you know, you can make somebody's day who's trying to do things cheap. Here, all I can do is leave them in the hotel and hope housekeeping takes the sealed food home instead of just tossing it in the bin. I do have to say, this is kind of a cool trail stop though. Everything I could need. Gas stations, supermarkets, a Starbucks. There's an Einstein's bagel place right by the hotel. Traffic circles that are gonna get me run over. They even have this welcome center, which would have been a good place to do my resupply if I wasn't overnighting here. And welcome back to Home Sweet Home. Note to self, when aggressively unloading one's pack, don't just upend it on the bed because, yeah, I get lots of stuff. So yeah, this is what I get to build a 6-day carry out of.